turn on the recording. So just to make sure that we will have it in place and I'll be able to share it with all of you. So yeah, thanks a lot for joining us today. So my name is Mike. I'm product manager here at Pushwoosh. And together with me, I have my colleague from customer success department, Anna. She's one of the best customer success managers that we have. And today we will share like some insights about the customer segmentation and how you can achieve great results with us using our tools and services we provide. So basically, this webinar will have three main areas. The first one will be like a basic overview over the segmentation area. So like, why is it important, what results you can achieve, and why is it important to plan this segmentation strategy according to your business and your goals. The second part will be how we can leverage the strategy into the Pushwoosh service. So how you can use our tools and services and our products to build the right segments, to build the right communication strategy, and to achieve great results with your messages. And the third part will be like a short Q&A session when you will be able to ask any questions that you have. So Anna will handle the first part. So Anna, it's up to you now.
Perfect, thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. So we're going to start today with the first question, why customer segmentation is crucial for our business. So first of all, more effective marketing for sure, because this is the biggest and most important benefit to well-implemented segmentation. By better recognizing the needs of your customers, you can identify more effective tactics for reaching them. Also, improved customer retention. By identifying your customers by their needs, you can put out marketing that offers irresistible reasons for a return visit. This is proven to increase customer retention. And of course, more focus. Ultimately, thoughtful customer segmentation will allow your business to focus every element of its activity to better reach those that it serves. Why segmentation is even more important in 2021? Well, we all know that there's been a lot of changes in the past year, but we will start today with talking about IDFA changes. So limitation to collect IDFA has already changed the marketing landscape and increased CPI for some apps more than 3 times. Overall trend for privacy. Apple and Google are constantly working on changes that prevent publishers from collecting data from users. IDFA for Apple, cookie list for Chrome, upcoming changes for Google Play Market policy, modern marketer should adapt to these changes. And of course, some further changes that are ahead of us. Thanks to Bloomberg sources and Apple, we already know what we prepare for. The company is planning a new feature that will allow users to set different notification preferences, such as if the phone makes a sound or not, depending on their current status. How segmentation can be used in different industries? Well, we're going to talk about 3 main parallels today. It's going to be e-commerce, media, and entertainment, and subscription-based apps. So if we're talking about e-commerce, you would be able to prompt your users to put items from the preferred category into their cart. So it's good to know which users added products to their cart, but it's even better to track how many of them actually purchased something. Promote goods from specific category to users that will buy it with some probability. If we're talking about media and entertainment, you would be able to collect user preferences for news topic based on their preferences or views history and prepare and send weekly digests with relevant content. If we're talking about subscription-based apps, you would be able to onboard new users who installed app recently, retain paid users to keep using your app. So, how segmentation can be used in different industries? Again, if we're going to be talking about the e-commerce example, before segmentation, their broadcast pushes typically had 0.5 CTR. But after they started using segmentation based on a user's favorite product categories, it increased over 10%. And in media and entertainment industry, segmentation based on preferred content allows users to get only those updates that they deem important. Such pushes have high CTR, on average 7 to 9%, and contribute to the audience growth. So here's our 3 ways to segment your customers in 2021. And we'll, of course, we'll start with the segmentation by attributes. Start by tracking all of the information you know about your audience. The more you know, the more precise segments you will be able to create. The second way is going to be segmentation by behavior. Track your user behavior and react on their actions with the relevant content that will help them to continue your customer journey. And of course, the combined attributes and behavior, because users sometimes with similar behavior but different attributes will react differently on your communication. So always remember to cover both things in your experiments. This is just a quick strategic view on customer segmentation where we have a geofence, installed apps, cart abandoners, and custom event and attributes. Things to remember when planning your segmentation strategy. Well, first of all, we're going to be talking about the problem with spray and pray. So when you do not segment your audience, you harness only half of what your marketing are capable of. Another problem is going to be high click rates do not mean high conversion rates. So collect user preferences for news topic based on their preferences or views history, and prepare and send weekly digest with relevant content. And of course, plan data gathering along with your development team. Just make sure that you are using default info that Pushwoosh helps you together, and carefully plan additional information that you would like to track. For example, user behavior and attributes. They are your best friends when it comes to data. So just a couple of things to remember when you plan in the segmentation strategy. First of all, is going to be the information gaps. So you're missing key information that you need to activate your segments, outdated or undifferentiated segments, that you are dealing with segments that behave very similar to one another, or segments defined by tensions that are no longer relevant to your category or business, and major shifts in category demand. The turbulence of the last year brought new groups of people to your category, and you need to understand who they are and what matters most to them. Or some people have moved away from your category, and you need to know who remains and what would need to be done to win them back. So here in Pushwoosh, we're here to help you, and you already collected information out of the box, such as full device information and user behaviors. So this is just a short list of what we collect out of the box as city and country, device model info, install date, last open date, user behavior such as application or particular screen openings. And just a couple of additional insights about what info to collect. Of course, this is just the results from the survey, but you can see that among them, there's going to be products purchased, pages content viewed, geolocation for sure, demographics, previous visits, and stage of customer journey. So I guess this is going to be over to you, Mike. That's okay.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Anna. So let me share my screen. I will share with you how you can leverage the segmentation strategy into the Pushwoosh using our tools, like predefined ones and the ones that you can implement together with us. So, well, first of all, as Anna mentioned, it's always useful to plan your segmentation strategy accordingly. So what info you need to gather, what type of behavior you would like to track, because, well, depending on the industry you're working in, depending on whether or not you have the app or website, the information itself may vary really dramatically. So we in Pushwoosh really believe that the more information you track, better, because it will help you to build really precise segments and target them with the right content at the right time, and also use personalization as a key component of your communication strategy. So to help you with it, we provide several information by default in our product. So as Anna mentioned, we have, like, for example, default tags or events that you are already collecting that you can use in your segmentation. So before I move further about how to use segments and behavior in your communication, let me highlight the information that you are already collecting. So in the audience tab of the Pushwoosh product, we have like this tag, events, and filters, basically the baseline of segmentation in Pushwoosh. So for the tags functionality, we already collect all of the device information. So we collect the geofencing such as city or country, and you can use it to segment and split your audience between different countries or cities and target them with the different messages. For example, for media apps, it might be very, very important to send only local news in order to get higher CTR rate. And we help you out of the box to achieve this exact scenario. We track information about when was the first install date, when was the last application open date. So you are able to build like some kind of re-engagement campaigns or onboarding campaigns right from the start with Pushwoosh, and use this information to track the amount of users that are getting into your app or leaving your app, and target them with the right content to increase their conversion values for your funnel. And also you can always add an additional information, well, basically any type of information you'd like to collect. So we in Pushwoosh collect only device information, so no personal information for the user. You may be, we're keeping your users safe. So basically collect some information that can be used to track your users, but still you can use it to segment your audience. But still, if you have some specific information that you would like to track about the users, such as their interests, their subscription types, their name, their gender, and anything basically, you can simply gather this information in Pushwoosh and use it in segments. So basically, this is a segmentation by attributes that Anna mentioned, but what about the behavior? So it's always important to track the right actions your users perform in your product or app. Basically, we can track any action user performs in your app and use it in the communication. So later I'll show you how you can do this with our tools, but to show you what we can do and how we can help you, we've prepared a list of default events that we gather like right from the beginning, such as application open, or particular screen open, or like application minimized. And also we prepared a set of predefined events for different industries, such as mobile apps, e-commerce, gaming apps, and so on, that you can simply activate and add into your app. So what we're doing, we have this event here that you can simply activate and get the right code that you just need to copy paste into your app, and it will be working. So you will start you will start to collect user actions, and you'll be able to use it in your communication strategy. Of course, all of the information that you collect, you can build filters with them. We have several filters by default, such as didn't open the app for 3 or 7 days, which help you to target your churning users. And also you can build your own ones with all of the information that you gather with Pushwoosh. But how you can use this information in our product? So let me switch to the customer journey builder. So where I have several scenarios prepared for you. And I will show you just a briefly overview of what type of communication scenarios you can have in our product. So depending on what goal you have or what type of communication you would like to perform, there are various scenarios. I will cover several trigger-based ones and several segment-based ones. So the first scenario is a really simple one. So you have a lot of users, you have a lot of new users, and you would like to explain them the concept of your app and onboard them into your app to increase your results. What you can do, you can simply select, well, the first event as a starting point. Well, it will be preview application open. So basically, you will target users based on their behavior, basically opening the app. And then you will filter these users with a segment, new users in the app. This way, you'll target only new users that are coming to your app, and you won't affect any existing customers that you already have. And well, basically, they do not need any onboarding into your app. And for these new users, you can send any type of message. It could be onboarding via push notification, via email, or via in-app. In my case, it will be in-app message. So I will send them this pretty message inside the app, just to show them and welcome them into my app and explain the value. Of course, there could be a much more complex onboarding with several steps, several messages that I'm sending. So it's only up to you how long and how deep will this onboarding be. But still, you was using behavior segmentation, like with application open event, and attribute segmentation with new users in the app filter, you'll be able to track only the right segment and improve your conversion values for your product funnel. But what if I like to, I don't know, send a specific message to upsell or sell something for my apps? So still, I can target my audience with the same event, application open, or maybe product tag, or anything basically. And then I may segment my audience based not on the day they are in the app, but like whether or not they purchase something from me. So if you collect the information about, well, whether or not user purchase something, such as subscription or specific product, you can filter your audience and send the right message. For example, for those users that purchase something, you can send a discount for the next purchase. And for those users that did not purchase something, you just send a discount to motivate them to make their first purchase with you. So this way you can improve the number of checkouts that you have in the app and basically increase your revenue that you currently have at the app. But like it's a matter of simple broadcasting or sending a message. What if I'd like to do some testing? So for this, we have several specific features in the products that will help you to test your messages and to see what type of communication, what type of segmentation is really working for you. So recently we've implemented the set text functionality. So this way you can mark some users with a specific tag value right inside your communication segments. So for example, I would like to do a specific A/B testing with my segment that I already prepared and see what type of message is really working and what type of message is not. So how can I do it? So first of all, I have this segment. So for A/B testing, basically I prepared it in my control panel. This is like my own segment I was using to test the messages that I get myself, but still it could be like the number of attributes that will help you to see whether or not this segment is really valuable for you and what results you can get from communication with this specific segment. Then I split this segment into several parts, send them a message, and then I'm waiting for a specific action to happen. In my case, I would like to achieve this. I would like my users to go to my app. So I'm sending them a message and I want them to open my app and do something, I don't know. In my case, I just want to open the app. So once they do this, I'm able to mark them with specific value. For example, I will mark test group as successfully opened. And later on, I will see the results for each group, the amount of users that are currently in each group, and I will be able to see whether or not my experiment with communication with this specific segment is working. So by counting the amount of users in each segment, I will be able to say my communication is working in case of A option or in case of B option. So I'll be able to compare these two segments and the amount of users in each segment. I'll be able to plan my communication with each group according. For example, I know that for users that open this test A message, I will send another type of message. I don't want them to receive general information. I want them to receive specific information that will drive them to do something in my app. So I can later on use this test group attributes in my filters and get more results from communication. But what if I would like to just simply mark some users that are an A/B test with specific value and then extract it to external system? Still, it's totally doable. So for example, I can start A/B test, then mark each group of my A/B test with a specific value, and then just send a message. After that, I will be able to export all of this information to external system and analyze it in some external way without having to do something in Pushwoosh. You can use your external tools with exporting the segment that are in the A/B test and grouping them with a specific value. So it's not like we're forcing you to do everything on our side. You still can extract this information and extract all of the information from Pushwoosh into your own tools and use it there. And of course, it's usually useful to consider that with set text functionality, you can simply combine behavioral-based messaging and behavioral-based segmentation with the attribute-based. So when you have some events in your app and you would like to segment user based not only attributes that you collect, but also on some events, such as, for example, user interests or like specific screen opens and so on, you can just combine start event with a specific event, of course. For example, it could be, I don't know, product ad functionality. So I would like to create a segment for users that added a specific product into their cart. And then I will just simply mark this group with a value. So you can have a lot of journeys like this. So you can have a lot of different scenarios. So basically you can improve the quality of your data in your product with set text functionality in the journey by just combining events and text. And later on, you can create specific segments with these values to target your broadcast communication or trigger-based communication in order to achieve results. We can say that by using segments and this type of approach for communication, you will decrease the number of audience in your segments, but you will increase the CTRs and the like actions after the push notification. So some of our clients receive like a 10x boost for their communication with using precise segments, just because the information and the message they're sending is really relevant and personalized for this specific segment. So you will have more segments and more communication, but each message will be timely, personalized for a person that will receive it. So think about the user behind the screen. Think about who this user is, what this user wants, and how you can plan your communication and segmentation strategy to get all of this information in order to build your communication. Yep. I think that we from Pushwoosh may help you with building this segmentation strategy. So again, feel free to reach us via support or via the email that you already have, because I send all of you an invitation to this webinar. I and my team will more than happy to help you with your segmentation. We will be more than happy to answer all of your questions and help you to implement data gathering into your apps. So feel free to reach us. We'll be more than happy to help. And now I think that we have a Q&A session. So let me stop sharing my screen. And in case you have any questions, you can just simply pass them into the chat or ask them verbally. Okay, I received one question. Yeah, so no, this works for the app and for website as well. So basically, you can collect information for website just the same way for the apps. For the websites, it's even easier to collect the information because you can update the website on the fly, while for the mobile apps, you have to publish it in the stores. But still, the logic behind the segmentation, behind the automation, are really the same for the web apps as for the mobile apps. Also, you can implement some backend, so like some external system events or external system attributes that you can send to us, and we will be able to send a message to your audience right away. You just need to somehow pass the information into Pushwoosh, and you'll be able to build the segmentation strategy with us. So one question from Kate from media organizations. How detailed can we tell the types of content that users tend to open? How specific can that segmentation get? So basically, we have several ways how we can help you with it. So first of all, we have like a subscription prompt where your audience can set their preference on the topics that you have. For example, they can set their preference that they would like to get a sport topic or finance topic or something like that. And you can simply plan your communication according to these preferences of your audience, and you'll be able to send like finance news to the audience that would like to get finance news, sport news for the ones that would like to get sport news, and so on. Another way, like how to collect this information, is to for example, use the journey and set as functionality, you can set, for example, a set of events for opening a specific news in your app, well, news with a specific category, for example. And if you know that this particular user opens the I don't know, sport category 5 times or 6 times, 7 times, I don't know, I will mark this user as interested in sport, for example. So this approach will mark this user automatically. So in case of the first one, user will need to select preferences. In the second approach, you will automatically mark this user as interested in sports. So you don't need to force user to do something. Basically, you will get this information automatically on your own side, and then you'll be able to plan your communication, maybe send weekly digest, for example. And by the way, if you would like us to help you with building this logic, feel free to reach me via email. I'll be more than happy to consult you on how to tailor these types of contents with Pushwoosh. Yeah. Another question we have, is it possible to A/B test for push notification versus any in-app message? Of course it is. So in customer journey, you can combine in-app message with a push notification. So the only thing that you need to consider is like the conversion goal. So what are the goal of this journey and what are the goal of this A/B test? Basically, what type of results I would like to achieve, whether it will be more purchases in my app or maybe retention or something like that. Just find the right metric that will show you that your A/B test is working. But still, it's totally possible to test not only push notification versus in-app message, but also push notification versus email versus in-app message, or even several types of push notifications, several types of in-app message, and so on. So you basically, there are no limits of types of content that you can test with us. Okay, just one more question. I need to read it. Okay, so one of the things I'm having a hard time putting together is news media organization, how to use the user journey. Makes sense for user with a card and they are the card, but how do you envision media? So for media companies, customer journey, well, first of all, you can do not only trigger-based communication with customer journey, but also you can just send, like, for example, weekly broadcast, weekly digest through customer journey to users and like use a start with a segment as a starting point, and then segment your audience inside the journey. So it will be like a broadcast message that you will send to the whole base. And in this content, there could be like a different, I don't know, types of news media, such as digest, maybe some interesting article for a specific topic, and so on. So basically, we are planning to make a blog post about how customer journey can be useful for specific industries. And well, media is one of them, to be honest. So soon there will be some content where there will be several examples of how to use it. Yep. One more question. Can you tailor the content according to the nature of users? For instance, if you have subscription offering, can you tailor certain content only to go to subscribers? Yes, of course. So basically, well, subscription is just another attribute that we can store in Pushwoosh and later on use in segments. So we can just simply filter the audience based on subscription type, for example, or even whether there's a subscription or not. And then for those users with subscription, just send a message. And without the subscription, do nothing, basically. And of course, with customer journey, you can build like a complex segmentation with several steps. For example, the first step will be whether or not there's even a subscription, or the next step there will be like whether or not there's a specific type of subscription, and so on and so on. So there could be like several levels of segmentation for your subscription types. So it's just a matter of like experimenting with customer journey. In case you're interested, we can have an additional session about the customer journey. So please reach me via email. We can have an additional call where I will answer all of your questions. Okay, I think, yeah, I think that's all because we already, we have like 4 minutes left for our webinar. So I think that in case there will be no more questions for now, you can always reach us via email. As you know, we're always ready to help you and answer all of them. Our support team is just great with helping our clients to achieve the results, and our product team is always ready to connect with you to discuss your use cases and any issues you're struggling with. So thanks a lot for joining us today. It was more my pleasure speaking with you, and well, there were so many questions. I'm really happy to hear all of them. So see you soon. There will be more webinars coming in the future. Yes, yes, of course, we will mail this webinar to all of you along with the presentation. So you will be able to watch the recording and share it with your colleagues and the presentation itself as well. So thanks a lot for joining. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.